what's up guys? Dylan here. Super excited. I was coming through town and this is Daniel behind me. He invited me over to kind of catch up on his ownership of a TERRA Prime. He's had one for about 3 months, and coincidentally he also owns an Onyx. And so he's owned both of these, and I thought this would be a really good opportunity to kind of sit down with him and he can start explaining the difference between a TERRA Prime and an Onyx. I know a lot of you guys ask me, hey, what's the difference between these two? And instead of me telling you, I figured having somebody who's ridden both hard, broken the Onyx, had this one for 3 months, pushed it in the mountains as an everyday driver, and really just kind of give us an overall sense of the key differences and why he never rides the Onyx anymore and only rides the TERRA Prime. All right, Daniel, thanks so much for being willing to talk about your ownership of the TERRA Prime and walking us through the differences between these two bikes.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to do this. And I love my TERRA Prime. I've been riding e-bikes for about 5 years when I bought this Onyx. I love my Onyx too. It's just a different kind of bike. Perfect California bike. And but now that I have the TERRA, I don't ever ride it. So here where I live, it's in a mountainous area, and I ride pretty hard, whether it's on-road or off-road. And the TERRA, it just handles better. It's more balanced. The center of gravity is low, so it feels more of a closer to a dirt bike, an actual dirt bike or an on-road bike than the Onyx does. So here's the Onyx. I put a little dirt bike fender on the front because I do like to take it off road. Here, this wood underneath this wood panel is where the battery sits. So it's pretty high. Although it is low, it does feel kind of top heavy for this bike. And then also you'll notice the Onyx has pedals because it's considered an e-bicycle. I've actually ripped off the chain on here, just riding it off, trying to take it off road, and the chain just couldn't stay on. But that's one thing. This pedal moves, and when I try to take it off road, it just kind of gets in the way. Whereas you can see with the TERRA, it's got regular foot pegs like you would see on a dirt bike or a true motorcycle. And then the battery here on the TERRA sits right here behind this panel, so the center of gravity is low, and obviously with these foot pegs I can stand up on it. I can use my legs as shock absorbers, and it is just so much fun to ride, whether I'm taking it to the grocery store to run an errand or ripping some dirt on trail.
Sweet, great. And last question, where have you been riding it, and what's kind of your overall take? You've owned this bike for about 3 months. How many miles have you put on it? Kind of, yeah, just walk us through this last 3 months.
Sure. Yeah, I've got about 200 miles on it so far. I was riding it a lot in the fall when it was warmer. I still ride it even though it's 30 degrees outside. I'll be riding it again today, and it's in the middle of January. I love taking it everywhere. Like, that's the cool thing about this bike. I mean, I have fun riding even around the city. But my most favorite thing to do is taking it fishing. I'll hit up different fly fishing spots, and this will zip me around really quickly and quietly, so I'm not disturbing nature and other people around it. So if the weather permits, I'm riding this thing as my first choice, and not just my bikes, but even my truck. So
perfect, awesome. And last one, looking at it, kind of you sitting on it right now, TERRA definitely looks a lot bigger. Tell me a little bit about the kind of ride configuration, the size, the balancing, maybe even kind of the range and speed differences between the two.
Sure, absolutely. So yeah, TERRA is bigger. It's closer to like a dirt bike size, although not as big and bulky as another dirt bike. It's a lot easier to handle than, like you'd say, like a 250 or something. It doesn't sit quite as high as a dirt bike, so it's easy to, if you need to put your feet down. I'm 5'10", so it's easy to maneuver. If I need to lift it up, I can actually move it, like just moving around in my garage. I can move this thing on my own if I have to, but this thing is balanced in either case. Compared to Onyx is also a fun bike, but it's just mainly used for road. And I can go on dirt bike, or not dirt bike trails, but like you know, paved trails to you know, bicycle trails and sidewalks and that kind of thing. But the Onyx does sit lower than what where the Terra does. It is lighter as well. You know, it is easy to maneuver around, especially compared to a dirt bike. Top speed I've gone on this thing is probably 60 plus. And it is a little bit different. It's kind of like going 60 miles an hour and you've got pedals on this thing. So that is kind of unique there. Whereas the Terra, I think I've taken it up to 73 miles an hour. And on a charge, I could probably get, you know, a lot of different rides, you know, a few different rides on just one charge for several hours. This battery on the Onyx does, the range on it, I'd say, is pretty comparable, although I don't really remember because I haven't ridden this thing in a really long time. So after I got this thing,
so you went 63 or something like that on the Onyx.
yeah.
Tell me, that must have been a little spicy.
Yeah. Well, the Onyx, I was going fast as trying to push it to the limit. It rides differently at that speed, so there's a lot of things shaking. The battery isn't really quite locked in, so there's things that are kind of wobbling and shaking on the interior of this bike. Versus the Terra, it's super tight. Everything's very compact, and it rides really great at 73 miles an hour. And when a bigger battery pack option is there, I trust, you know, it at even higher speeds than that.
All right, well, there you guys have it. Thank you so much, Daniel. That was great. You know, just having an honest comparison of the two is really, really beneficial to people who are looking at the Onyx, you know, in a city on the beach, and then people who want a true motorcycle, but yet not a full size over the top 250, as you said. So super stoked that you're able to give us an honest review, and I look forward to riding with you in the future.
Absolutely.
Thanks, man.